Very much.
We are live. This is Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories here today with John F. Kennedy Jr., the real one. Hey, John, how are you?
I am awesome, Sue. I am so good.
Awesome.
I'm good every time you say, "Hey, let's do a video." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, right
Yeah.
on."
Yeah. Well, like I was saying earlier, the pace of everything is picked up in a good way. Everything's happening at once. If you're looking out there in the world, it's really good stuff. And we're only going to see more and more disclosure as time goes on. So, yay, right?
A big yay, yes.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. We're starting to get views on Facebook.
Yeah.
A lot of lions are starting to make more videos, more and more. The haters are still popping up, of course, but they know they're losing, so they got to put their 2 cents worth in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can tell because they don't usually have content. If, like, obviously people are entitled to their opinion, but if they just call names and they've got anger, there's no, and that's all fluff, right? There's no content
Yeah.
there. If they have
Well,
a,
I'm getting past the when somebody gives you one negative comment, it brings you down, and
yeah,
it takes 10 positive comments to bring you back up and lift your spirits back up.
yeah,
So it's to the point now where one person will say, "You don't look anything like your father or your mother,"
yeah, yeah,
and right after that comment, I'll get 20 or 30 comments saying, "We love you, John. You look just like your father." And it's like blows that negative right out of the water. So
yeah,
keep it up. It's
yeah,
awesome, Lions. It's so
yeah.
awesome.
Usually when you get those comments, you can blow them off, but sometimes it does hurt your feelings, like if they get personal or whatever, but they let's just put it this way, they don't know this story, they don't understand it, and they don't want to understand it, or they're paid off. Okay, so
Right. Or they know the story and they're trying to hinder
yeah,
and
yeah,
discourage you from sharing the story.
yeah,
Or flat out, they know they're going to be, paying the consequences for all the evil deeds and kidnapping and unalives and all this that they've done.
yeah,
And I don't have no mercy for them. I don't anymore. You know, being raised with the Quigleys, I had emotions and feelings because they were the family that I was with for so long, and all the things they did. It's like the things they did to me were horrendous. Typical cult tactics. We love you so much, and then turn around and backstab you and give you the shittiest jobs that you allow, and just sit there and laugh at you while you're moving boulders from one spot to a next for less than minimum wage, and crazy.
well, there was psychological abuse there, definitely, and on purpose, of course, but a lot of physical abuse as well. And you witness murders and all sorts of nefarious things. That is not a normal, let's just say, middle class upbringing. Like that wasn't normal. So you know that. But as a little boy, that still has gotta hurt. You don't understand what's happening to you, how you could go from X to Y, and it had to be very hard to adjust to.
Yeah, I grew up in the biggest secret mafia war ever,
Yeah,
and some of the things I saw, when I was there seeing some things, it's like, are we getting even or is the bad guy getting even? Totally screwing with my head, what's right, what's wrong. And it's still confusing,
yeah.
I got to still sort some of it out in my own head. But
Yeah.
yeah, a
I,
lot of
I,
heavy, hardcore duty shit went through, what I saw.
I've watched a lot of your lives in the past week or so, and you've talked about how you were drugged so much, you know. So you were drugged all the time, and then of course, who knows what happened and what they did, and of course they can influence you when you're under the influence of a chemical, right? But they also tortured, and they hooked you up to wires, and they had tracking devices and MK Ultra, and like again, not a normal childhood at all.
Yeah,
Very
MK Ultra. is, our CIA's experiment on mind control with drugs and any which way they could figure out how to control a human being.
Yeah.
So there was times they gave me more LSD than I could handle, and they'd put me in a cage. They would a regular jail cell, padded cell, and say, "Oh, you'll be all right in a couple of days."
Wow. Yeah. Horrible. Like it's really hard to understand that, you know what I mean? Like how people could do that to another human or animal, right? How could anyone do that to another? Doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
Because they had no qualms, they had no heart, they had no love.
I was even tied to a tree once. I wasn't being bad or anything, but they actually just tied me to a tree and said I was getting out of control.
So you would just be bopping along and they tied you.
Uh,
How long were you on the tree?
oh, few hours anyway. There was a big party going on, and first they lit me on fire for falling asleep. Um, I was on the porch, and it was actually a HA party, and I had been up for so long, but I actually fell asleep in a chair, and one of the guys had some barbecue lighter fluid. They poured it on my shoes and actually lit it on fire and said, "You don't sleep at one of our parties."
Wow. Now what's HA party?
That Hell's Angels.
Oh. Okay. But you were a child then?
I was a young teenager.
Yeah, yeah. Still not cool. Not cool.
But yeah, they do things like that. It's like you're not sleeping at one of our parties.
Yeah.
This is a time to party. But then
Wow.
after that, I think I raised so much hell they tied me to a tree.
Wow. Wow. Crazy. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff.
All in fun, I guess.
Yeah. Ha ha. Yeah. So, you know, I always show the book that we're talking about here, the life story or the summary of the life story so far is under John's book, Stolen Identity, available at Barnes and Noble or Amazon. And that book's been out about a year now with great success. All right, so this tells the basis of what we're talking about, as well as the first couple of videos that we did, which will be in the description below, right? And
Yeah,
then,
it's actually been out over a year and 2 months now. It
okay,
came out the end of November of last year,
okay,
and it's huge. People. I hope people realize how big of a deal
yeah,
this is
yeah,
because these
huge deal.
people that run things in our government don't want you to know what they did to the son of a president, what they did to a president, what they did to his family. It was a mafia war, people, and I'm exposing, how they're running things to this very day and why we are having it so bad to this very day, and things aren't turning around and looking up for us all. But
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents worth right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So we had talked about this a few times. They Trump, et cetera, have agreed to release the JFK files, the classified files, along with many others. And it's been 2, 3 weeks now, probably since that announcement was made, or maybe more. And we haven't really seen anything, but people are excited about it.
Yeah,
What?
it's good that it was at least brought out into the open.
Yeah.
Maybe some people will wake up and check out the book, with that publicity. But is it
Well,
really going to come out? Are they really going to admit that, hey, our past presidents are cabal? Are they really going to say all these billions of dollars after the Kennedy family was murdered went to this family and that family? I don't think so. I really don't.
yeah.
If I remember right, last term that Trump had, he also said he was going to release the files and never did. And there's also thousands of pages that are missing
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what is actually released if something is like he did have his prior term to do the same thing. Okay. So I'm not sure what's caused his change of heart, but why has it taken it so long? Why doesn't he just say, boom, release them today? Just put them out there. And then I saw a report after that that there are, I forget the number, 1,000, 10,000, doesn't matter, pages of information that have been taken out of those files. So I
Right.
don't know who got that information, how they got the number. I don't know if that's true, but we don't know if these are going to be true and
Well, the
release
main
files.
page that they need to put back in those files is, hey, we kidnapped the son of JFK and we
Yeah,
placed him with the Quigley family. We
yeah,
made a fake birth certificate. We gave that kid that fake birth certificate. He went and got a driver's license.
yeah.
David Quigley doesn't even exist, but here I am, the real John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. That's what they need to be releasing. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, and it is extremely clear when you look at your childhood pictures that that child grew up to be you, not the imposter that took your place. All right,
Yeah,
so
I was just thinking I had a picture of me with Aristotle Onassis, and back then, on the island, I had three girls come up to me at one time saying, I'm your sister Caroline. I'm your sister Caroline. I'm your sister Caroline. And it was like to mess with my head that, hey, and I was like, you're not my sister, and you're not my sister. And then, yeah, we're your sister. I met a wonderful gal not too long ago, and she looks just like me. I consider her my sister. Was she one of those three? We'll figure it out. There's also on Facebook a Caroline Kennedy that's in a prison or a mental facility. She's asking for help. I've messaged her twice this last week. Um, she could be one of those three Carolines. I really don't know. But she was actually in a mental facility or a hospital saying, I need help. And I went back on her videos and looked, and it went from her being in a relationship because she had hundreds of videos on Facebook, from being in a relationship to being homeless in a park, and a lot of homeless in the park videos on her site. And then the next thing you know, she's in a facility asking for help. So, with what I'm seeing, it very well could be a conspiracy to keep her in custody. It very
right.
well could be. So, if anybody has any information, let's help this woman out. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I didn't know about that, but the people that are currently in power, all right, the one playing your sister out in the public eye, and the other people, they do not want your story out there, nor does, there's several versions of Trump, all right? They don't
Right.
want that story out there, right?
Well, I
Take,
can guarantee you the Caroline Kennedy that has been playing Caroline Kennedy for all these years is a 100%, no 0.001 chance she's the real one. She is a fake. She is a fraud. She has stole millions and millions and millions of my family's dollars, spread it out to the cabal. She has no Kennedy blood whatsoever. I want justice for that. She is a thief in the at the head of the Democratic Party as far as you know
right,
I'm concerned with the Clintons and every other thing. She is a criminal just like they all are. I want her exposed. And how do I know this? When I was a young teenager, me and John and her were on a boat. And she told me right then and there she did not want to see me anymore because they were planning to unalive me. And John was right there. He did not say one freaking word, but she did. And Wayne, my handler, tried to bring me back to Greece to see him. And I was like, I don't want to freaking go. Why should I go if my family's been killed and they want me unalive? So anyway,
right,
to the public, she's a fake, she's a fraud. That's all there is to it. And she's getting away with her part in government to do it.
right. Well, we've seen that picture. You've shown us that picture of the boat. And and that is a fraud on the boat. Well, two imposters, one real person, one real character in the story. But I guess
Yeah,
what
unless they Photoshop that picture, but that is the same exact scenario. They took pictures of me when I was with them. She was sitting on the back of the boat. And I had told this story long before I even saw that photo. I was in the passenger and John was at the steering wheel. And she was back there looking over my shoulder saying, we're going to unalive you if you don't go away.
Not a typical thing for, a teenager to say.
Well, it's the cabal. They're trained that way. It's a cult. Our Secret Service is a cult. They have they they get all these children, kidnapping, child abuse, and they make them. When they say you're a made man into the mafia, they get you as a child and they make you be the way you
Right,
are to commit
right,
murders for
right,
them, to do things for them. They're typical family. We love you, just like the Quigleys did to me.
right. Well, they desensitize. I mean, when you grew up with abuse, okay, that's your way of life. It's the way you talk. It's the way everyone is in your social circle. You don't realize that there's another way, right? You don't realize it's wrong and it's not typical, right? And so that's what these other people have been done, have had happen to them. They've been absorbed into that kind of a lifestyle. They don't realize it's wrong. And then to go up that ladder, they have to murder people and do all sorts of other crimes. And again, what they want is to get at the top part of the ladder. So they'll do those deeds, right?
Yeah, I never really understood myself. I knew they replaced him with me. The John, the whole world knew. I knew that replacement took place. And I never had I really couldn't figure it out in my mind,
Yeah,
why they were doing it. And after a while, I did figure it out that it was money. I didn't hold it against him because I knew he was part of the cabal. He was raised as a child, just like I was, to be put in that position.
right,
But when him and his wife wanted to take my life, so I could not share this story with the world today, it all ended right then. I
right.
have no remorse for that dude. He sunk to the bottom of the ocean. I happened to survive, but I will not shed a tear when he said, I want David Quigley dead. That's it. That's all it takes from me.
Right. So we talked about this a little bit before. We can have some sympathy for him as a child. He was, basically unwanted and shifted into that role. We don't know what happened to him prior to that, okay? He's a kid just like you were, and he's told to do whatever he did. Okay, fine. Then he grows up to be an adult. And of course, the problem is breaking out of that mold is not easy, right? To keep
Right.
your life and everything and to break out of the mold is not easy. But as an adult, he could have, changed
He
roles.
could have done the right thing.
He could have done the
And
right thing.
here's another thing that's huge, and I mean it's huge. My story needs to set back our legal system years. It really does. They made that man a district attorney. They made a member of the cabal a district attorney. Anything he ever did legally was probably for organized crime and the corruption
Of
for
course.
organized crime. Everything needs to be thrown out.
Yeah.
When he signed his name, John Kennedy, on a legal document, it was not his signature. It's forgery. Any fucking legal thing at all needs to be thrown out. Same way with Caroline Kennedy. Same way with so many of these people.
Right.
Any, think of all the legislation Caroline has signed. An ambassador for the United States with Japan. Right now, an ambassador to Australia.
Right.
Anytime she strokes her pen and signs her name, Caroline Kennedy, it needs to be thrown out. It is a forgery. She is a fraud. All this legal crap needs to be looked at by somebody up at the top and say, hey,
Yeah.
what
None
what
of that
what
is,
is the extent of organized crime being the ambassador to Australia right now? How much money are they siphoning off to the cabal with her being a fake? The money trail is so huge. I mean, millions and millions and millions of dollars that should be mine, and they're hers, going to children that have no Kennedy blood whatsoever. None. Hey, I feel sorry for them, but that's life. Your father was a fraud. Your father was a fake. Your father was a criminal. Get used to it because I'm coming out and I'm screaming. I'm screaming. And a lot of the haters come from all that sides of the family, the Quigley family, my ex-wife. it's huge, the haters we are exposing that belong to the cabal. It really is. And
It, I'm
we're getting
agreeing with you. Okay, so this legislation is not valid or legal, but here, think of it this way. Let's back up even further. Look at through our history in America, how many politicians, how many entertainers, musicians, whatever it might be, people of influence have been switched out just like you have. There's an imposter in their place, or they're inverted, okay? They present themselves as a woman, they're really a biological male, or vice versa. In my mind, that's also fraudulent and illegal, okay?
Oh, it is so huge. Like I said, it'll set the courts back for years, but they need to do it.
Yeah,
They can't put it off. They have to do it.
yeah,
It's justice.
right.
It's true justice. You can't turn a blind eye to justice. What you can't turn a blind eye to my story. And people are all over government, all over the media, they're turning a blind eye to justice. My justice. It's so freaking huge.
Right.
They're hindering us, they're blocking us, they're doing everything they can. But the truth, we're winning. We are so winning.
Yeah. It's coming out. This story is getting traction. All right. And like I said, Justice for John 2025, no exceptions. The truth is coming out this year. Pounding my fist on the desk. Okay. We're not fooling around anymore. It's coming out this year. And you can see that you're getting a little traction with your videos. People are starting to share the story. It's getting out there. It's catching the attention of others. So
Yeah.
everyone that's watching, thank you for your help.
Oh, thank you, everybody that has helped. We are, the love donations are picking up, the pendant sales are picking up.
Yeah.
Um, it's huge. People 2 years ago, I was in poverty, big time, no income, zero, trying to survive with zero income. So the love blessings and the gifts and a sale of a pendant or a book, it's huge. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to get the story out even more. It really is. I got sent 50 of these last week, and I don't have any more. She sent me another 50, but we're turning around and we're getting more copies, purchasing more copies. It's
Awesome.
actually on Lulu now, so that's cool.
Yep, that is cool. All right. Well, this is a good time for me to share the website. Okay, so I've done this before, but guess what, guys? The website has been updated slightly. So, oh, sorry, wrong screen. That is a user error.
I'm looking forward to seeing it because she messaged me a little bit ago and said she fixed it up for me.
That's
So I
funny.
can't wait to see it.
I've done that like 2 or 3 times, press the wrong button. It is my problem. I'm so sorry. But here is the official website. And so one of the things I want to say is that this is the official website, the real John F. Kennedy Jr.com. All right, so this is the homepage. We've switched around some pictures a little bit.
That's awesome. That looks really good.
Looks really good, doesn't it? So this
Yeah,
site is done by a company, the sourceofloveofficial.com. She does an amazing job with graphics and websites. So we switched some things out and we've added the new book, John. Okay, so
what a blessing.
yeah, if you want to get the
Kimberly
book,
is such a blessing.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Kimberly.
So you can click on this to get your copy of the newest book. Or you can get a stolen identity, of course, but we've got some of the same pictures as before in videos, if you've already seen this. But if you haven't seen it, take your time and look around. Um, what I wanted to show today is the timeline. So we're adding more events to the timeline. For those that haven't read the book, don't want to read the book or whatever, this is just a quick way to get the salient points of John's life in his book. Now, it's not complete, obviously. And
Um,
it takes time to do this, and everyone's busy, so we're just doing little dribs and drabs as we can.
yeah, and if you have a problem reading the book or you can't afford the book, I don't know if there's a link to Dizzy on YouTube on here, but
I
she's actually has read the whole book on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I wish I could remember her link to share right now. But Dizzy on YouTube reads the book for you. All you got to do is push play and listen to
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah. So I've been sharing Dizzy's link in the description and in the comments below, which I'll do again. All
Oh,
right.
well, thank you, Sue.
Yeah, I will put it, maybe we'll put that on the website. I just have to remember to do that. So, basically, we're just trying to get more of the points of the story out there. So, we're eliminating more questions. People get why this happened, why we're talking about this or that. Okay. So
Yeah,
just,
that one picture you just shared of my fake mother, that was not that picture right there. That was not my mother. That was a body double. That was a replacement. They gave
right,
that lady right there plastic surgery.
right.
They gave her dental work just to look like my mother. I bet you that woman couldn't speak a foreign language if she had to. But that picture is definitely not my mom. I witnessed my mother's murder in 1975. The cabal did that to my mom, and that was all over money.
Of course, everything's over money. Yeah. So yeah, we put, her death in there. Okay. We put the plane crash there. All right. So we're putting other key points in your lifetime here. So it's looking better and better. And I'm loving that picture. So, um, so what I wanted to ask people is if you have better pictures, we really wanted the side by side comparison. If you could send them to me, that would be so helpful because we're trying to enhance the website and make it so anyone can look at it and get the gist of the story quickly, right? So there's that.
Yeah. And with that said, anything anybody can do to help us break out of the chains we're in to get the story world, it's all appreciated.
Yeah.
Any little thing, even a share
Yeah.
of Sue's show, The Awakened Stories, just
Yeah.
anything that helps,
Yeah.
we'll do it.
Yeah.
This year we will do it and
Yeah.
get it
We are
out.
doing it. It is done. So, okay. We always talk about, we're gonna go to the shop button because I want to show off again the healing pendants that everyone's been purchasing. So first of all, notice the chain. The chain itself is really well made. It's not super thin and flimsy. You can get it on and off super easy. The pendants come in two sizes, small and big. They are in 5 colors: rose gold, gold, silver, black, and rainbow. And then they show John's book on one side and the title of the book on the other. So they're a collector's item and they'll be in huge demand very soon. But even more important, maybe, is the fact that they offer healing and protective frequencies. So they will protect you from EMFs and radiation and all sorts of other things, and they will help your health improve. All right. So just want to point that out because they are 111 plus $10 shipping, and it really helps John survive, live, and eat, and then buy more books that he gives away. So, yay.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
It's a huge help. It
yeah,
really is.
yeah.
And that's all thanks to King Smarty of Source Directives. And
Yep.
it's huge,
Yep.
huge help.
So just showing off the website again for those that haven't seen it. So this is the only official website, okay? The real John F. Kennedy JR.com. And as time goes on, John will be putting his events and his other products on this website, and hopefully he'll have someone that will enhance this and put the latest and greatest pictures out there for us, right? Yeah. All right. So I wanted to show that off because I'm always excited about the website and getting more content out there and more information to people, right? Because, again, if you were brand new, you'd be like, what are they talking about? That's not what I heard. That's not what I remember.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you, Sue.
if you read the book, which I strongly encourage, it tells that story, but if you're in a hurry, you can go look at the website and get great info. You can read, watch some of the videos, and then again, you can listen to this online, listen to the book. So if you don't like to read, you can get it that way.
and it's free.
Free. Yeah.
And if you do like the story and you want to help,
Yeah.
we get a few bucks off each sale, so that all helps.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking at some of the comments and the quality of the pendants is very good. Like they're heavy. They're long lasting. They're not like trinkets, we'll put it that way. They're very
Well,
nice.
yeah, they're very well made.
Yeah.
They stay shiny. I
Yep.
wore this one since I got them.
Yeah.
It's a silver one, and I wear it working on the car and everything. I mean, it's got a few little scratches, but it still looks very nice around
Yeah.
my neck.
Yeah. Yeah, so that provides healing and protective frequencies always. And that's what King Smarty's specialty is, among other things. He provides all sorts of products and jewelry that help heal people. And so the story is when we started doing these videos, let's say a little over a year ago, he sent you some healing products and a pendant, which you started to wear for PTSD. And
It's a big help. It really is.
as the year progressed, we could see the improvement in your physical appearance. Like everything seemed like it was starting to come
Oh,
together.
I gotta share this, Sue.
Yeah.
Huge news. Smarty's so fucking funny. He cracks me up.
Yeah.
I went to the heart doctor the other day. I was sitting there in the office and Smarty messaged me. Well, I was in the office at the heart doctor. Well, the heart doctor comes in and he said, "You're improving. I don't want to see you for another year." And I went, "Okay." He signed off for a procedure for a colonoscopy for me. And that's huge, just having your heart doctor sign off that you're well enough. But he also signed off so I could get some new teeth,
Oh,
have the
wow.
surgery, have my teeth pulled to get new teeth put in. Um, that's huge. But I got out of the I got out of the heart doctor. I said, "Good news, Smarty. Doctor just told me my heart's improving." He sends me back an email message says, "No shit, Sherlock."
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've seen it. Okay. So now you've got the measurement. I know we talked a few months ago, you said, well, I think when you started doing these videos, your heart was at like 10% capacity or something like that. And a few months ago, it had gone up to 50% and then maybe 60. But it's improving, and the wearing the pendant has helped. You've had other products in your home as well. That's really helped a lot physically, but I also think you feel emotionally better because you have supporters. You have some good
Yeah.
people helping you out.
Smarty sent us all kinds of products, and Robin stuck those stickers all over our water bottles. And we got a crystalline chamber here
Yeah,
that never gets shut off. It's glowing all the time.
yeah,
Wonderful products.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I really don't know what my percentage of my heart is now. But when it was at 50%, it was at 10, then it went to 50. The doctor said, "I don't want to see you for 3 months." And now he's saying, "I don't want to see you for another year." So it's got to be doing a lot better. He stuck his little thing on my heart and he's like, "Wow."
Yeah.
I was like, "Right on." I like to hear that.
That's fabulous. Fabulous
And
news.
I gave the heart doctor, wonderful man, that he did save my life 2 years ago. I gave him a copy of Sign This, and he had a grin from ear to ear, and he was like so happy. I was like, "That's it. I'm the real John
Yeah,
Kennedy Jr. You
yeah,
saved my life."
yeah. Yeah. And you told us a story about your one of your last surgeries, how you were like left in I don't know if it was a back room or a hallway basically to die, like no one even knew where you were or anything. It's like you've come a long way since that.
And I was just thinking yesterday, the cabal is so organized, so powerful at what they do. I was remembering freaking Steve Victor George. I still don't know what his real name was. He was a double agent for the Secret Service. His name was Steve Victor or George, one of the three. But I remember him telling me one day, he was a very, very smart man. He said, "If you just nick your heart, just a nick, it will give you side effects like crazy. So I've been thinking about what he told me years ago, because when I had my hiatal surgery operation in 2013, when they actually killed me and botched it way up, they had poked holes in my lungs. They really messed me up. I died in the hospital. They messed me up. They were dragging me to the x-ray room and everything. I couldn't walk. Um, I was convulsing, and I remember I think I was on a metal rack, but I messed up my back. So much things that they did to me. And here years later, when I had my heart failure, I actually saw that the blood was pumping out of the side of my heart. So did they actually plan that in 2012, 13, when they botched my surgery to nick my heart just a little bit to kill me? What, 10 years later? Could be. I've been thinking about it today and yesterday for some reason, and then I'll blow it off. I try to process shit like that
Yeah.
because they're that, they got the doctors and they got the best of the best. The cabal do. Our government, they have the best doctors, the best plastic surgeons, the best dental everything. They have the best, and they're all controlled. You do what we tell you because we're the Secret Service.
Right. Well, do you think maybe they've been watched by a higher power that knows what they've been doing and that might say, okay, we're about done with that now? I feel like that's what's happened. So, yay. But
That's
also,
always welcome.
when you think about a hiatal hernia, what business did they have up in your lungs?
They didn't.
Yeah. Like, what were they doing? You know?
The well, the surgery, the doctor said he's going to have, I think he told me, two incisions because it was that laparoscopic surgery where they do it remote controlled. And when I woke up on the floor, I wasn't even, not in intensive care, but hidden off to the side. I had six incisions in my stomach, not just the two, but six. And they had the big ass staples. I mean, these incisions were this long with the staples.
Yeah.
And with all those incisions, the doctor, the lung doctor came in and said, "Hey, we screwed up. We poked holes in your lungs." A nurse even whispered in my ear, "They really fucked you up." Um, but were they trying to kill? I had an IV and I looked at it. This was after a week I was in there, I think. But there was all kinds of crap in the IV line that was going into my arm. And I asked the nurse, I said, "What is all that crap? That's not supposed to be in my IV." And she was like, "That's normal."
Oh.
And then the doctor came in and I said, "I'm out of here, motherfucker. You guys are trying to kill me." But see, I was there for 10 days in that intensive care
Yeah.
for 10 days because they fucked me up. They killed me. They messed me up that bad. 10 days. They only charged, and I left. I thought they were going to kill me that day. So I was gone. But um, they only charged the insurance company for 3 days stay. They covered up all the other days. They ate all the medical costs because I was in intensive care for 10 days. When I got the bill, it said, "You're being charged for your 3 day stay." And, how could I ever get a lawyer to sue? What, they were covering up. And then they had a crew come in, a bunch of nurses, and they said, what happened is because you smoke. And then I went to the little doctor that sent me there, and I had square paddle mark burns on my chest. They had burned it from the defibrillators into my chest, reviving me. And I said, "What is this? Is this defibrillator marks?" She said, "That's just dirt." I went, "Excuse me? I've washed this off 20 times. It don't come off. But, oh, that's just dirt." So they were covering their ass so big time.
Yeah. I mean, we've heard stories of mistakes made. Okay, like let's say they cut off the wrong leg or whatever. We've heard stories. Okay, they were purposely going in and digging around you. And we of course we don't know what specifically they were doing, but it wasn't good.
No, it wasn't. It was
Clearly,
not good at all.
clearly.
I would never want to go through. I mean, when I was on that floor and not in intensive care, I was screaming. I was already on morphine. I think I was eating 4 or 5 morphine tablets every day for my pain that I was in. And when I was on that second floor, they were bringing me like one little Percocet and saying, "You get one of these every 6 hours." And I was jonesing for my regular morphine, and they're like, "Sorry, we can't get a hold of the doctor. We don't. He must be out golfing or something. So we can't give you any pain medicine." So I was actually on this floor, not in intensive care, screaming, "Please stop the pain. I'm fucking dying." When you're in so much pain, it's just crazy. And then for 2 days straight, and then the doctor comes to see me. "Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to get you into intensive care now. Blah, 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 blah. I apologize for you being down here eating one Percocet every 10 hours.
It's
I
not
tell you what,
funny.
I tell you what, I was planning on putting a cap in that motherfucker's head. I'll be honest, I don't sugarcoat shit.
Yeah.
I haven't, but at the time, he messed me up so bad, I was crawling around in my yard. I couldn't walk. And I was thinking, if he was here right now, I would cap that sucker.
It's not funny, but so they thought they were going to get away with it, that they, like, oh, he passed away during this or that operation.
Well,
And
it's all going to come out. It's all going to
it
come
is
out,
coming.
and they're going to be held accountable for what happened to John in 2013 when they killed him in the freaking hospital.
Yeah.
Everything, everything. This video, everything is going to come out. Me and you, we're going to have millions of views on our videos. They're going to be putting me and you in the history books from now on, the real story of John Kennedy Jr. There's thousands and thousands of videos and clips of my father, and what they did, his assassination. It's not going to stop. It's just going to keep, and it's this year. It's
It's
this
this
year we're
year.
getting our
It's this
justice.
year. Well, I feel like they were digging around trying to grab your organs. They do that a lot more than we know. It's recently come out that they've been taking organs out of prisoners that are, in various prisons, and
Yeah.
some guys die and they just bury them in the back. Well, that's been coming out. They've been getting caught doing that.
Yeah, they have been getting caught, and the relatives go and say, "Hey, I want my son's body or whatever," and they're like, "Oh, we
Oh,
don't have it anymore. We sold that."
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of nefarious stuff going on, and that is coming out also. All right. So I don't know exactly what they were doing to you. It definitely wasn't good, and they will be held accountable.
All I remember is bounce convulsing on that freaking table and my spine bashing into something metal. Um, but when they put you out, when they put that mask on you, you don't remember. You
Yeah.
just don't remember.
Yeah.
You might think you remember or remember parts, but
Yeah.
yeah, once you're out, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. I'm not a big
That's why
fan.
I'm still iffy about this colonoscopy because they're worried I have colon cancer. But I asked my heart doctor, I said, "What do you think? You think I should have that scope up my butt so they can see if I have cancer or not?" But once I'm out,
I say no, and I'll tell you why. I'm not a big fan of allopathic medicine. All right. I do homeopathic. You know, I think if you had an injury, like you break a leg, that's something you can't quickly fix on your own. All right. But most of the stuff that it's mostly lifestyle caused, our illness and injury, the way we think and the way we treat ourselves and what we eat. And you know that they're weaponizing all of our food. Okay. So there's poison in the air, the water, and the food. So I say just chill a little bit longer. Yeah. But that's me.
Yeah.
And you probably know why I'm saying that too, but
Oh yeah. Well, I got a price on my head.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do.
But you've
There's
shown,
so many people out there that I'm exposing, that will be in prison for life if I get justice.
yeah,
Um, they don't, and these people have money. They have money to throw around. They're like they got a big freaking suitcase full of money, and they say, "Do we spend this money to get rid of John so he doesn't ever share his story?" But yeah, it's no fun with all the things I have to think about when it comes up to
yeah.
whether I go
But
and
you should already know, like they've tried to kill you all these times, right? You're still here. You're still
yeah,
here.
but it's still no fun when somebody's beating you with a crowbar,
That is true.
trying to kill you, and you wake up the next morning and you got bruises and cuts all over from getting hit with a crowbar,
Mm.
or you're in a car crash and your head goes freaking smashes the windshield of your car. A lot of things like that I've been through, and you're
Right.
like, it still hurts.
Yeah, it does still hurt. It's not fun. But again, I think you have a team of protectors there. There's a bigger mission that you're on, and you've performed admirably, right? You've been courageous enough to tell your story and to persevere and get the story out there, right? And like again, censorship is a real thing. It's pretty ugly, but the people that are watching, the people that are sharing, they believe in you, they're supporting you, they're helping get the book out there, the videos out there, the pictures out there. Your story's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about my son. I lost my son 6 months ago, or it's been maybe 7 or 8 now, and he deserves justice. He deserves his name heard, all around the world. And we need to expose that he was a victim
Yep.
to the Quigley family and to the MK Ultra, and they screwed his freaking mind up, and I lost my son to that.
Right.
So I was just thinking of my losses, and they've been huge, but it's time for victory and justice for the world.
Yeah. Every family member affected. Yeah, it's inconceivable. It's hard to understand it, but when you read the book, you do understand it. And like I said, you've come through with a heart of gold. And I believe this was your mission to expose the corruption and evil in government, in all of our, influencers, whether they be entertainers or whatever it might be, politicians, that has to be exposed.
Yeah, I do believe that God put me here to wake up
Yeah.
people and let them all know what's really going on.
Yeah, I do
But
too.
Sue, if you can black me out, or I got to take a potty break real quick.
Okay. Well, hey, I will talk because that's what I like doing. And I'm going to show the website again just because. But all right, so how you can help John is by sharing the videos and sharing them with people that may not know the story yet, buying books, sharing the books around. Um, creating like little posters with the book cover on it. The book cover has a very compelling picture, all right here. And when you see the name, you're like, what? So even photocopying the book cover and sharing that around, putting it on bulletin boards is helpful. Um, you can help by writing reviews on Amazon or for your local library. I asked my library to purchase the book, which they did, and then I wrote a review. Okay, so, not a lot of people read anymore, but those that might want to know more about the book have now got my review to look at. All right. Getting the videos out helps people to understand the story. People are not bad, they just don't know about the story. So we have to help them connect with the videos and the book. Okay. And then again, on YouTube, we have Dizzy's channel, which I'll share in the description as soon as I get off the video and can get it together. Right. And I'm very excited about this website. And again, we've got the new and improved timeline with more bullet points on it. Oh, I'm not done yet, John. You got to go back. And then we've got our pendants, which always help John. Your purchase of the pendant gives him money to live on and money to buy more books. Because he keeps donating them. Rather than
Thank you, Sue.
don't you got to keep the money for food, but he's going to send you a book anyways.
Yeah, actually, we bought 700, ordered $700 worth of books this month. It cut me a little short. I'll admit it, it did. But I've been telling people if they go out of their way and get a pendant, I will autograph them a book and send them a book. Whether it's this one, because I think I have 15 copies of this one left, or the Historian's Tale. I got more of these coming.
Yeah.
So I will autograph you a book, whether it's either book, whichever one I run out of. It's,
And that's not guaranteed. I just want to point that out because if he runs out of a book, he's just going to send you the pendant or whatever. But hopefully you'll be doing this out of the goodness of your heart and share the book and the story around. That's really our goal.
yeah,
And
that is the main thing to
yeah,
help me share my story, help me get
yeah,
justice for all the injustice that has been done, all
right.
the cover-ups by our government that is still going on to this very day, and help wake up the world.
Yep. And there is also a donate tab on the website. And if you've already got a book and a pendant and you don't really need a physical product, if you want to donate, that is also appreciated. And John does take donations by check. The check needs to be made to David Quigley, which is his, name for his bank account for now. So,
Yeah, that's what we're fighting for. My name back, my original birth certificate. The birth certificate I hold now is a forgery, it's a fake.
yeah.
Um, there's so many wonderful people. Lions, I call them lions. Um, Mojo, I sent Mojo some pendants and some of the King's merchandise. And she does a live just about every day on TikTok. And she had a contest the other day. And she's like, okay, we're going to be giving one pendant away. And they were having a little contest. She said, um, what motorcycle does John ride? So, or no, she said, what ride does John like the most? And two answers came up: Harley from these people, and one guy says he rides a motorbike, and I said they're all winners.
Yeah. Well, I put a thing out there on my YouTube. It said, we were looking for an actor to play you in your documentary. And I said, who would be a good actor? And every single person said you. I almost think we got a Mel Gibson then as the second,
And
the only
check
other.
this out. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this.
Ooh,
But this is brand spanking new. I've never even touched it. King
beautiful.
Smarty, out of the kindness of his heart, sent me this
Yeah,
just the other day. And I'm like, maybe we could have some kind of fundraiser or giveaway
yeah.
or something. But there's only three of them that I know exist. This is one. The King has one that's signed, and then this new one.
That's
So
cool.
I'm still thinking about what to do. Um, but I only need one. So if somehow somebody can think of a way to get the story out and share it, I'll be more happy to sign that one and send it. I just don't know how yet.
I was thinking we should have them made in various sizes, like 4x6 and maybe some smaller ones, so we could say put them on our refrigerator or whatever. But a lot of people would probably like to have one of those, and having it smaller makes it attractive because we can stick it on the fridge or whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I even had these made. These are a sticker. I
Yeah.
had these made and now I got to come up with some money to have a sticker of this to put on. because we got the trailer so we could do book signings, at least drive down the highway and people will see the story. It's like a billboard. So that's next. But
Yeah.
I had some of these. I gave a few of these away. I got them stuck on Robin's car. I got them stuck on my truck.
Yeah.
But even these cost 200, $2.50 just to have it made.
Mm.
So there's got to be a better way to do things.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a
because
lot.
everything to share the story costs
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, so I want to iterate again. So any of those that are watching, if you have any great pictures, if you'll send them to me, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm in touch with a couple people through Facebook. I don't go onto Facebook that often, so I've got to catch up on that today. But there's some beautiful videos and slideshows out there. My problem is a technical one. I've got to figure out how to copy them and use them. And so once I do that, we can get,
Facebook is really good for sharing pictures.
yeah.
I know if you're on Facebook on my phone, I just gotta touch it and then it'll come up share and you can share it to your photos right on your phone. I've done that a few times. I'm old. I don't know how to do a lot, but that's one thing I figured out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can pull down an individual picture for the most part. It's the videos or the slideshows. And a lot of the people are sending along these beautifully done things they're putting out there, which I see. I just don't know how to get the photos down from them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's
And
what I'm after is photos that we can use either on the website or for promotion.
a big shout out to uh, Kathy Kirk. She sent me a video she made. She has a radio, it's a spiritual radio talk show. She has, I believe it's her own radio station, but she made a little short video. It will be out next month. But in her video, I'm going to try to share it. She gave me permission to share it because it's going to go on air next month. But from the minute 9 to the minute 11, she actually is asking for me to have an honorable mention, which is awesome. And I think she said um, her radio station, when she puts out that, will go to like 11 states back east or
Oh,
something like
cool.
that. So
Cool.
that'll be, if people will wake up, that's wonderful. And thanks, Kathy.
That's awesome. So many good people out there, that have, and again, the problem is just getting the story to the right people that can hear it. And so that's what we're doing is we're getting the content out there as much as we can. People will take notice. They'll say what? They'll look at the website, they'll look at the videos, they'll talk about it with their friends, and it'll blossom out that way. Yeah.
Somebody just left us a comment on YouTube. I don't know what. They've lied about everything. He is the real John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. Yay. Keep sharing. Keep sharing.
Yeah, the lies are ugly and like it's gonna shock everyone how many lies have been told, not only about your life, your father's life, about history in general. It's going to be shocking. Our minds are going to be blown.
Yeah. Well,
But I
let's
could,
change that. Let's change that history. Let's start
yeah,
putting God back in this country and getting rid of all the criminals that are running it now
yeah.
because
I
they're huge.
I
They
consider us
are
the
huge.
I consider us the lucky ones. Okay, like look at we know this much, okay, and we're always growing and expanding. But think of the people that are, they're going about their human life, working and watching TV or whatever they do, and they don't know or they don't think about this stuff. When it comes out, their minds are going to be blown. Wow.
Yeah, that's our goal. Let's blow some minds.
Let's blow some minds. That's our new thing. All right. I want to thank you for your time today and everyone that's watching and doing all the things behind the scenes to help John. I really appreciate your help. Yeah.
And yeah, that goes for me too, with all my heart and soul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sue. Thanks, Smarty. Thank all you Lions for doing what you're doing
Yep.
because it's going to happen this year and it's all because of you guys. It
Yeah.
really,
This
really
year.
is.
Thank you so much for your time, John. Take care.
Thank you, Sue.
Bye-bye.